Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm going to talk about the best way, in my opinion, to pass propfirm challenges. Now, I've mentioned this before to a lot of our members, so they probably already know this, but in my opinion, the best way is to go high risk, high reward. Now, I'm not talking about risk to reward ratio in terms of trading, like not like it's in a 1 to 3R or whatever. Um, but I'm talking about, for example, let's say you've got $2,000 saved up or $1,000, let's say $1,000 saved up for trading challenges. So you're going to be spending that on trading challenges. There's a bunch of things you could do, right? But you could, for example, buy a 200K account with that. Let's say you buy a 200K account with that. You're going to have to pass this account by making 10%, well, in total 15%. So you're going to need to make 15% without losing more than, well, 10% per phase, so in total 20%. So without losing more than that. Now, if you think that's doable, then I mean, it is doable, of course, but if you think it's easy, it's not easy. And if you ever look at professional traders or hedge funds, you know that it's very difficult. So instead of doing, or instead of buying one 200K account, where you've got a pretty high chance of blowing it. First of all, you've got a pretty high chance of blowing it, but also it's going to take ages because you don't want to risk too much because even nowadays there's a lot of prop firms who have a rule that you're not allowed to risk more than 2 or 3%. So you want to risk very little, but you want to make a lot. Well, unfortunately, in pretty much everything in the world, it doesn't work like that. It's very difficult to do that. So instead of doing that, and instead of basically putting all your hopes on that account, you could also try and buy four 50K accounts instead. So buying four 50K accounts gives you a lot more room to play with. It's also a lot easier on you mentally because you know if you blow one of these accounts, you still got three accounts left. Now, also, by the way, let me just state if you pass one of these four accounts, you make 2% profit and you've got unlimited time to make 2% profit with very little risk, you basically already got your investment back plus that refund that you get from the account that you passed. So, once again, you need to make 15% on these accounts like usual, but you can afford to risk a lot more because you basically got four chances. So now you've got basically 40% to make 15%. I know that doesn't really make sense, but that's essentially what you got because you got four shots at making 15%. So now you can afford to risk 2 to 3% per trade, where you only need, for example, one or two winning trades instead of 10 winning trades. Let's say you were risking 0.5% winning trades. Now, let's say you pass one of these accounts or you blow three of them, and you pass one of them, you only need, like I said, you only need to make 2% in order to basically get your investment back. 2% with unlimited time. Now, the number one issue is that a lot of traders just get bored. They want to pass it quickly. They don't want to be stuck in a challenge for months and months on end. So, basically, my advice if you want to get funded quickly and you want to pass your challenge quickly, instead of buying one 200K account, buy four 50K accounts. Um, then go high risk, high reward. So know that there's a high likelihood of you blowing at least some of the accounts. Um, then passing one of them, you only need to make 2%, which you've got basically unlimited time for. And also, you're now trading on a live funded account, which is also good for your psychology, basically, because you kind of switch into that stage from not being a demo trader anymore, but actually trading on live accounts. So this is my advice to people who want to get funded quickly. It's just a short little video on it. But I think personally that this is the best way to do it. And I know that the majority of traders, once they do have funding and once they are scaling up, this is how they do it. I know a couple of good friends of mine buy about 6K worth of challenges every month. And it's basically about, I think that's about six 200K accounts on which they risk 3% per trade. And they blow, I think like the majority of them, they blow But then if they pass one or two of these accounts, they only need to make 1 or 2% to get their investment back. And they've got unlimited time for that. So I think personally, I think this is the best approach. Know that these prop firms are out there for you to fail. They want you to fail. That's how they make their money. So understanding that and basically trying to capitalize on that is, in my opinion, the best way to get your prop firm challenge passed quickly. But before you do any of this, before you even try or even think about hopping to a challenge, make sure that you have a proven systematic edge in the markets. Because you would not believe the amount of people that I've seen who hop into a challenge without even knowing if they're profitable. So you have to know that your edge works. You have to know that your strategy is in fact profitable. If you don't know that your strategy is profitable, you might as well just go to a casino because you don't know what you're doing. I know that's very harsh, but I think genuinely you have to know 100% if your edge is profitable. So before you do anything, make sure that you've backtested it. Make sure that you've collected a lot of data on it, and make sure that you know your average losing streak, your average winning streak, and your average max drawdown. So with that said, I hope this little video is helpful for you guys to pass your prop from challenges. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, reach out to me on Discord, and I'll make sure to get back to you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.